All right, let's obviously the big focus this morning is scholar transport in South Africa with a road blitz that's taking place in Lanseria. The Minister, Barbara Creecy, is addressing the media. Let's quickly take that live.
Transport, but they are vehicles that parents themselves have procured so that their children can reach different schools. Now, it's important to share with you that this operation this morning has so far impounded 30 vehicles, and these vehicles have been impounded mainly because they are not roadworthy, but also because they do not meet the basic requirements in the existing law. And allow me to share with you what those basic requirements are. In terms of the current land transport regulations, every private vehicle must have a contract between the operator and the school and must carry a certified copy of that contract. This is not a contract that says that this vehicle is being paid for by the department. It's a contract that says that we recognize that this vehicle is transporting learners to a particular school. And that contract must be kept in the vehicle. The second requirement of the existing law is that the driver must have a special identity document that identifies him or her as a scholar transport service provider. And that document must have the name of the driver, the identity number of the driver, the name of the operator, and a code indicating the type of vehicle that is being used. The third issue is that if pre-primary children or primary school children are being transported in the vehicle, there must be a teacher supervising that process. Now, colleagues, clearly we have to do more in terms of operations to enforce the existing regulations. And that is why after this particular meeting or operation here, I will be having a meeting with the Department of Education and the MEC of Transport, where we will be discussing further enforcement actions to deal with the problems we face here. But it is my view that because driver behavior is a difficult problem with regard to transport, I now need to bring in additional regulation under Section 42(2) of the Act that would ensure that drivers who are transporting learners acquire qualifications in advanced and defensive driving. That all scholar transport vehicles must be clearly marked, and that the Department of Education and the Department of Transport must keep a separate regulation that we will be bringing in. We are already in discussion with Santaco on the introduction of tracking devices on vehicles, and in due course, of course, the introduction of dash cams. Clearly, this is an issue that can be instituted over a period of time because it has cost implications for the operators themselves, but it is something that we would want to move towards, so that as we control driver behavior in the trucking industry, so we should be able to control driver behavior in the taxi industry in general, but in the scholar transport industry in particular.
Minister, may I interrupt? My apologies. Because of that commotion of an arrest, I see there's deflected attention. The driver's just been arrested for 25 kids in the vehicle. So if you can just hang 10.
Okay, so I'm told that the driver behind me has just been arrested because he has 25 children packed in a vehicle. And we all understand the role that overloading plays in this. I want to give an opportunity to the MEC of Gauteng just to say a few words, because the MEC has issued a public call for reckless drivers to be notified on a helpline. I think that what we know is that members of the community know of reckless drivers. We're calling on parents and members of the community to report this, and I would like the MEC to say a few words on that campaign.
Thank you very much, Minister. This is the continuation of It Starts With You, Itomakawen. It is a call to community members as well as everyone, motorists on the road, that please help us save lives. As Gauteng Department of Roads and Transport and the provincial government, we have a hotline to report reckless driving, overloading of children in scholar transported. The number is 0861 400 800. Please, you can also assist us by taking videos, taking registration numbers and putting them on our social media platforms, the Facebook, Twitter, as the Department of Roads and Transport in Gauteng. We're doing our best. We are working closely with municipalities and law enforcement agencies to ensure that we eradicate lawlessness, but we also importantly save lives. We require parents to also work closely with us and monitor as you enter into contracts with private scholar transporters. The number again is 0861 400 800. 0861 400 800. Thank you very much, Minister.
Thank you very much, MEC. I'm just going to give an opportunity to the MEC of Education to outline the role the department will play in bringing this system under order.
Thank you, Minister. Good morning. Firstly, let me just appreciate the Operation Minister. It gives me confidence that, especially the private scholar transport operators, they begin to see that they are not loyal to themselves. As you can see, there's a taxi carrying 25 learners. And if this operation had not taken place, we might not have picked it up. So I want to appreciate this. And I want to appreciate the commitment from the National Ministry to do this operation across our province on a regular basis. That will send a strong message to the private scholar transport, even public scholar transport providers as well, that are carrying our children in unroadworthy vehicles. As a department, we will commit to our side with regard, for instance, the contracts, which is something that our schools know. It's all about enforcing and ensuring that, remind them that every child that gets brought to school, they need to know who's bringing the child. So those particular aspects, we want to keep that database on our side. We want to make sure that we comply fully and we're able to be held accountable in that regard. But what I want to also appeal is the decisiveness from the law enforcement agencies. I said to my colleague, Minister of Transport, that I'd rather have my children arrive late and safe than early or otherwise, or not arrive at all, rather. So that is my view on the matter. I know today our children are going to be late for school, but it's okay because we know that they're safe. We know that in future they'll arrive at school safe and arrive at home safe. And for me, that's more important than any. So these operations, I'm quite happy with them, and I want them to continue to have them. I even said to my colleague, even the public scholar transport buses, pull it off. Let those people those service providers be held accountable. And if this operation is not taking place, we might not have picked it up. So I want to appreciate and so on. So it's important that the safety of our children continues to be prioritized at all times. So I want to appreciate that, Minister, and the Ministry at large. Thank you.
Thank you very much, MEC. Deputy Minister.
All right, are we good, Minister? All right, thank you very much, colleagues. Can I request that we field questions now? Please just introduce yourself and your pointed question so that we can be able to continue with the operation after the briefing. Right.
Thank you, Steve.
We'll take 3 questions and then come again.
Okay. Thank you, Minister. Srinda Rasubata from ENCA. Just some clarity around the preliminary report. Perhaps what has come out of it in terms of perhaps what the department has found so far and where exactly the fault lies with the...
All right, well, let's just come out of this and remind you what we're witnessing here this morning. It's a focus on scholar transport. The Department of Transport has embarked on a blitz in Lenasia, and this is what we are listening to, and we are seeing the dire situation that these vehicles are in. Clearly, there is a major problem with regard to this. 25, or actually, let me start with this figure. 30 vehicles have been impounded this morning alone, and one driver, apparently a driver that had 25 learners in one car, has been arrested. You saw that happening live on the camera. So, I mean, this is a massive problem, and it certainly is one that we'll continue to monitor.